Go ahead, anybody, please.
Hey, Joel, for Joel, Justin, you can answer this as well. This is a weird stat. You guys are undefeated when you take more than 23s in a game. Do you have any idea like why that might, I mean, is there a reason for that, or is there something to the volume of 3-point shots that helps you guys or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, we try to have like a balanced attack of getting it inside, and we don't want to take that many threes. But I mean, if we have the the opportunity to take them, we're going to take it. But I mean, I don't know. I've never looked at that stat before. But I guess if we keep shooting over 23s, I guess we need to continue to do that. But no, we don't look at that. Like I said, we try to have a balanced attack.
With regard to the three-point shooting, I mean, as the coaching staff kind of shared with you thoughts on if you're doing the fundamentals right, if you're doing a good job with shot selection, those type of kind of the basics before you even get to the actual shooting part of it?
Sometimes they'll tell us, we'll go back and look at or talk about the shots that we took from the three-point line. Majority of the time, they were pretty good shots. Some of them are probably quick in the shot clock, which we could probably make a couple of extra passes and take a little bit more time off the clock and get a better shot. But I mean, from the shots that I've seen between me, Marcus, and Justin, I think we've had pretty good opportunities at the rim that just didn't fall. And all of them aren't gonna fall, but I mean, I think they're pretty good shots that we've taken. We just haven't knocked them in like we wanted them to.
So it's been a long time since UNC won this tournament. I think 2008, and you guys just went through a tough regular season and an emotional finish. What is the mentality for you guys now going into a tournament after winning the regular season?
Well, from last year, I mean, we had it right there, and we were, I think, 5 or 6 minutes from winning, and the game just turned around. So we're looking back at last year as, we got to finish it out, and that's, been a big thing for us is just finishing games. And so this year, we're gonna go go in with the same mindset that we did last year, going in there and competing, and just this time we got to finish it out and accomplish that goal that we want.
Justin, last year you guys were in that 5 seed and had to play 4 games in 4 days. Just from a player standpoint, not a lot of teams, in fact, no teams have been able to do that and win the tournament. How tiring is that process when you're trying to go back to back to back to back?
I mean, I guess it goes back to the AAU days, honestly, except it's a whole nother level. Last year, having to go all those games back to back, it definitely, by the end of the tournament, your legs are pretty gone. So to have, I guess, the double bye that we have, it does nothing but helps our legs. Now we still have to be more focused going into it because we're going to be playing against a team that already played a game or two, so they're into the tournament a lot more than we would be. But I mean, the double bye does nothing but helps us.
Justin, the title game last year was the one game you didn't produce like you did in the rest of the game in that last stretch of the season. Were the legs a big part of that?
I just didn't hit shots. That's all it was. I was playing pretty well up into that game, and I just didn't hit shots. You have those games.
Does that game fill you at all now that you're going back into the ACC tournament personally?
Yeah. I mean, that individually that game hurt quite a bit because I felt like if I would have made 1 or 2 of those shots that we possibly could have won. So I mean, it definitely is fuel. But for us, I mean, there's no individual type stuff in it. We're just trying to play for each other, play as a team, and try to get another ring.
For both you guys, what can be the long-lasting benefit of winning the way you guys did at Duke the other night? Just kind of gritty, grind it out fashion in a hostile environment?
It just shows we shot the ball pretty terribly, but it shows when we play defense, we're still a pretty good team. So I think going forward, we just have to know that we got to step out there with that same intensity that we played against Duke with every single game for 40 minutes. And if we can do that, I think we'll be all right.
Really have any thoughts on that?
And then also, I mean, if you look at the rebounding, that was a big thing for us. A couple of times they, in the game over here, they got us in critical moments where they got an offensive rebound and got an extra shot. So this time we just had a big emphasis on just boxing out. And if we can continue to do that throughout the rest of the season, that'll be big for us.
Do you guys like feel a difference? Do you feel like a tougher team after winning that way? Does that make a difference mentally in how you guys approach things going forward?
I think so. I mean, it shows that we're capable of playing, tough games and being tough at the same time. So, just like, I mean, we got 50-50 balls, and then, like I said, we were relentless on the backboard, and that was the biggest thing for us. I mean, our big man showed up. Even our Justin got in there, got some rebounds. Theo got in there. So if we can continue to do that and get some extra possessions and get extra shots, that'll help us. And that's what helped us was that we weren't shooting the ball well, but we got extra possession, and we were able to get a better shot, down low.
I'm curious if either one of you have heard like the criticism that UNC is just kind of like a bunch of nice kids that lack that killer instinct. Like, are you aware that that's out there? And what's your response to it? So.
Yeah, we hear it all the time, but I try not to listen to it. I mean, I know who I am. I know who this team is, and we have some pretty tough guys. And I mean, I don't know what people's definition of tough is, but I mean, if tough is using your hands, then okay, yeah, we're not gonna do that. But I mean, when it comes down to it, we're pretty tough. I mean, when it gets in hard moments, we can sit down and guard someone, and if that's what tough means. So.
Justin, you were laughing. What do you think when you hear that?
I've learned over this season and last season to not worry about what all of that is. Of course we hear it. We still watch TV. We still watch SportsCenter. But at the end of the day, it's all about what we do on the court and not what other people say. We're not trying to prove people wrong that we're a tough team or, that we're tougher than that game or whatever. We're just trying to do whatever we can to win. And whether that's being quote unquote tough or whether that's just playing defense and winning the game. I mean, whatever we have to do to win, that's what we're going to do.
Coach Williams has said that toughness is physical, it's executing, and it's mental. Has he talked to you guys a lot about those elements of toughness, especially when you went to that stretch in early February, mid-February this year?
Yeah, in practice he stresses about, being tough mentally, physically. And I think in that game against Duke, that's what we did. At the end, we were, mentally into it. We executed what we needed to do, and we just stuck with the plan. And I think that's what, our toughness is just being able to finish out, being able to execute, and be able to sometimes physically, like I said, the rebounding was the physical part, and the mental part was just finishing out that game. So, like I said, we have toughness. It's just that, some people think we don't, but we do.
Toughness is your flex in the locker room, right?
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Yeah.
What is that move you do? The celebration thing that you do?
Well, the one I just something in the locker room we came up with where I go like that, and then the other one is a dance. It's called Hit Them Folks. It's a pretty popular dance, but yeah, that's what it is.
What was the bus ride down Franklin Street like for you guys? I know Roy said everybody had pretty much gone home, but there were people coming out of the restaurants to congratulate you.
Yeah, I mean, we thought the bus was going to get tipped over, and there wasn't even that many people out there. But I mean, it just shows, the support that we have from our fans, from the students and everybody. The fact that they were still out there and came out and were, clapping for us, cheering for us as we rode down. It was a great feeling, first of all. But I mean, it just shows the support that we have from all of them.
Guys, this team is on pace to set a couple records with regard to limiting turnovers, school records. What's been the key for this group to be so effective and taking care of the ball?
I think it's just having value for the ball, and just know that if we can, keep possession of it without having a turnover or something, we can get a shot. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, you never want to go down on the offensive end and just turn the ball over and not have the chance of, being able to get a shot. It's 50-50. I mean, sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't, but you would rather have an attempt than not have an attempt, have to go down and play defense again. So just having the value for that ball in and not turning it over.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think the biggest thing is just making the easy play. You know, sometimes, I know for me, I get caught up in trying to make that play that I think will, you know, maybe it'll get us a basket, but at the end of the day, there's more opportunities to get points than trying to force things in there. And I think we've done a lot better job. I think Joel hit it on there, of just valuing the ball a lot more, and realizing that, you know, we don't always have to score off an amazing play or anything like that. I mean, we just have, you know, so many guys that can score that we can make the easy play a lot more.
Anything else, anybody? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, fellas.